Eddie and Rachel here, and we are going to be doing a prep flow for the flow that you're going to do. Our flows are based on prep flow, flow A, which is going to be moving to the flow B, and then a flow C where you add on. So this is the prep flow that you want to do before you get into the postures or the flow that we're going to do. Starting off in a seated position, bring your feet out in front. About mat width apart, shoulders down the back, chest up. We're just going for 30 seconds on this one. So at this point with the prep flow, I just want you to feel your body, notice your breath, let your legs drop to the left. The knee will go on the inside edge of the foot and then back and forth. Start by just sealing off the lips and noticing the breath. Breathing even. You might find that on the inhale you expand, on the exhale you contract. Stay with that. Start to connect and find a bridge between your breath and your body and your mind. Going back and forth, external, internal rotation, like a windscreen wiper for my Australian friends, or like a windshield wiper for my American friends. On the last one, come into a comfortable seated position. Reaching up with the hands, take a big inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Look over your left shoulder, right into it, turn around, downward facing dog. Let's pedal the knees up and right away, just dropping the hips side to side. Imagine you're at the beach, picking up your feet, maybe spreading the toes because they're in the sand, relaxing the shoulders. Make sure your hips are up and back. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. We're moving through this. Exhale, coming into a low lunge. Walk your hands to the sides. And you're just going to transfer the weight from side to side, almost like a lateral lunge. Feeling the breath, and then once you start to feel that movement going back and forth, we're going to add on, transferring the weight, lifting up the left arm, left knee, and then switch. So you're just transferring your weight. Notice she's crossing the hands. Feels like Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, just going from side to side. There's a rotation happening in the torso. She's looking up towards the ceiling. However, go to your range of motion. Maybe we just start by going side to side. Maybe you just start by lifting up an elbow. Noticing your breath, noticing your body, feeling the weight transfer. That's really important. Come to the top of the mat, coming back into a low lunge type situation. Drop the back knee. Let's go into tabletop position. Working through this, your right leg will lift up. Tap behind the left knee like a Shiva squat. Extend the leg and then take a big giant step and then repeat. So extend, bend, extend, step, 30 seconds. The knee is going to go behind the knee. Make sure you draw the shoulders down the back. You're breathing normal. Your lips are sealed. You're just paying attention to the body. You're listening to the cues. Your foot outside the hand. Extending, tapping, extending, stepping. You got about 10 seconds to go. The balance is definitely on the left shin. The ribs aren't flaring open. You're starting to embody the idea of core integration, moving from the center. On the last one, coming into a kneeling lunge. Just keeping it simple. Sending the hips back, which will lengthen the right hamstring, and then as you come forward to kneeling lunge, just reach up. Just noticing the breath, plant the palms, send the hips back. This is like if you were going to go for a yoga sprint outside. You would be like, I'm going to stretch my hamstring. But if you want to play a little bit, feel. Does it feel natural to inhale when you expand the body up? And when you contract, does it feel natural to exhale? Now's the time to explore. You have about 10 seconds remaining. Definitely bringing more awareness to your pelvis, your torso, and your shoulders. The shifting of the weight from the knee to the heel of the foot. Working from all angles. Feeling the body, feeling the breath. And on the last one, reaching the arms straight up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back. Coming into a tabletop position and then transferring the weight forward. So on the knees, send the hips forward and lower all the way to the belly. Tops of the feet on the mat. Feet can be together or hip width apart. Shoulders down the back. The hips are going towards, the elbows are going towards the hips. Inhale, expand, cobra. Exhale, lower. Not your first rodeo, but maybe it is your first rodeo. And you're like, what's going on in Cobra? You're using your back more than your hands. Your hands are there to provide balance, but they're not providing the movement. The majority of the movement is coming from your back. You're pressing actively the tops of the feet into the mat, lengthening the spine. She's still looking forward. That way you don't crank your neck. The chin stays level, the spine stays in alignment. She's feeling the back. She's feeling the connection between her shoulders and her back, her elbows and her hips, her breath and her body. Feel the expansion on the inhale, exhale, lower down. Tucking to the back of the toes. One time only. Get tight. Legs, core, glutes push straight into plank position. Ooh, let's do a downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width apart. All good. Coming back into your tabletop position. Let's go right to the other side. Left leg. Tap. Ooh, she got me. Extend. Step. Yeah, so she's extending, tapping, and extending and stepping. About 30 seconds. Notice on the extension back, the foot is flexed. On the tap, the foot is pointed. You want to be able to really articulate these little movements so that you bring more awareness to the body, more information to the nervous system, more knowledge into the body. Taking a big step on that dragon lunge, finishing in the dragon lunge. Boom, just like that. Sending the hips back, stretching the hamstring, flexing the lead foot. Inhale, reaching high to the sky. Just noticing the breath again. Not too much pressure right now. Right now, we're kneeling. We're working through the hips, sending everything back. One movement, but now you notice the torso and the pelvis and the upper body have to start to integrate with the movement in order for you to start being able to transition from posture to posture seamlessly. On the last one, reaching up high to the sky, take a big inhale, exhale, plant feet. Coming into tabletop position. Now we're going to work a little baby vinyasa, so lean forward, tuck, tailbone. I very rarely say that, but watch you engage, dome the upper back, squeeze, grip the floor, shoulders over fingernails, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Option to keep the thighs on the floor, or if you're feeling more open, hover the thighs. Exhale, push back into child's pose, or downward dog, which is like forget your child's pose, straight to downward dog. This is a resting posture. You can always rest in child's pose as well. It's all good. Finishing in downward dog. She didn't want to do child's pose. Down dog. Walking the hands back towards the feet. We're about to get ready. Roll it all the way up to the top, starting with the core, using the back, finishing in shoulders. Let's get ready. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Set an intention for your practice. We're about to get into it. It can be whatever you want it to be. Invite it into the body, invite it into the mind, the emotions. See if you can tap into that while you're moving, taking a big inhale, visualizing it as something that's in the future, and as you exhale, draw it into the present, keeping it with you, because you're about to connect with it. Let's get started. Take a big inhale, exhale, palms, chin, roll it all the way down. We are going to our first flow A. Walking it out, coming into downward facing dog. Drop both knees. Walk the hands back. Here we go. Okay, so you just did your prep flow. We're going to get right into this yoga flow. This yoga flow is more movement based. So you're going to be moving in and out of the asanas, trying to flood your nervous system with sensory information. That way when you go into the asanas and hold them, your body will be completely prepped for them. So we're going into flow A with Miss Rachel Hot Pilates Chick. We are going to be starting off in downward facing dog. Planting the feet and the hands firmly. You can pedal out the dog a little bit. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width, shoulders sliding down the back. The hips are up and back. You're making an upside down letter V for victory. And we're going to be moving in and out of the postures. It will be about 45 seconds. I'm going to breathe, or cue Rachel to breathe, but you can do this with breath, or you can do it with time. We're going to start from downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Bend knee, open up the hip. Scorpion. Exhale, coming into dragon lunge. Inhale, back, scorpion. Moving in and out of the postures, exhale, step. Really trying to feel the body as you step and move. Inhale on the scorpion, the knee bends, the hip opens. On the exhale, you take a big giant step forward. The foot comes right outside the hand. Inhale, back to scorpion, opening up the leg, opening up the body. Exhale, really curling, articulating into dragon lunge. One more. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, step into dragon lunge. Inhale, scorpion, open up the hip and hold here. Finer points on scorpion, we're going to be here for 2 breaths. You want to make maximum range from the hip to the hand. The shoulders are relatively square. The torso and the pelvis will rotate, and you can put a soft bend in the back knee. Breathing into the body, breathing into the shape. Take another inhale. Exhale, come into dragon lunge. A little bit of finer points on dragon lunge. Back heel is stacked. Front knee is over the ankle. The pelvis isn't too low or too high. It's pretty much in a position that the crown of the head and the tailbone are in alignment. Moving on with our prep flow. Inhale, coming into extended side angle, back foot, reaching up. And we're going to exhale, coming back to dragon lunge. Inhale, coming into low lunge twists. Repeat. Plant the palm. Inhale, extended side angle, reaching up. Exhale, low lunge twist. Inhale, coming back into the side angle, palm is planted. Exhale, low lunge twist, moving from the ball of the foot to the palm of the hand, back and forth. She's breathing on her own pace, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Lips are sealed. We got a few more to go, and make sure that the back foot is rotating. It's almost like a massage. She's going from the ball of the foot to the inside edge of the foot, which is going to give the feeling of the hip opening up. On the last one, hold your extended side angle. From this position, beautiful alignment range. So you have hand-to-hand alignment. 2 shoulders are in one line. She's looking up towards her palm. She could also go to the fingertips. If you have limited mobility, you can do fingertips or even a block. Back foot is 90 degree, leg is engaged, opening up the chest. Inhale, exhale, coming into the low lunge twist. From this position, she's stacked. The pelvis is not dipping because you want it up, so you don't want to dump into the back. The back heel is lifted, front knee is stacked. She's opening up the chest. We're going to continue moving. Inhale, coming into extended low lunge twist. She's going to rotate her torso towards the ceiling. Exhale, coming into dragon lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. Breathing here. Exhale, Shiva hand, sun gaze, lifting up the ball of the foot. Inhale, back to warrior 1. Exhale, Shiva the hands, meaning flexing the hands, lifting up to the heel of the foot. Ball is lifted. Inhale, warrior 1. Back and forth with your own breath. Following Rachel, you can see her alignment. On the warrior 1, her hips and shoulders are square to the front of the wall, the front of the mirror, or the backyard or the pool. As she goes to do the sun gaze, it's literally as the name implies. You're visualizing the idea of the sun being above you, and you're gazing up at the sun, catching its rays. Her balance is evenly split between both feet. The back leg is still engaged because there's a sense of stability there. On the last one, finishing in warrior 1, just some finer points. The hips, shoulders are square, so she's not turned out. Everything is facing one direction. Light, if there were a light on her hips, both hips are shining forward. A little bit of a tip here, you can also send the left arm forward, and this will help you square your hips and shoulders to whatever you're looking at. Inhale, back to warrior 1. Exhale, coming into the sun gaze. On this one, the feet and the hand is flexed. She's looking up towards the ceiling. Moving on. Inhale, exhale, reaching forward, coming into arrowhead. Exhale, coming into seated skandasana. Inhale, coming back through. Warrior 1, reach, hinge. Reach, and hinge. finishing in Warrior One. Inhale, coming into Arrowhead. On this one, the spine is 45 degree, lengthening biceps by the ears, knee is still stacked over the ankle. As you exhale, start to descend down, coming into Seated Skandasana. The hip will touch the floor. Front leg is stacked. If you find yourself sliding too far back to the mat, just make sure you're more towards the front. We're going to prep this coming into half fixed firm. Before we do that, on your inhale, you're going to think of prying the hip open with the left arm, left elbow. As you exhale, just let it fold. Inhale, pry it open. Exhale, let it fold. Back and forth, about 45 seconds. Some finer points. She's keeping her lead foot flexed to help protect the knee. Her shoulders are still down the back, and she's really working through this range of motion. A lot of times in yoga flows, we don't prep the body for the asana. We kind of just go in and out of them. Here, I want you, and we want you, to focus on the in-between transition, the movement between the movement, that little movement, feeling that. On the last one, she's going to open up the hip. This time on the exhale, fold the shin, get on the top of the foot. We're going to work through the top of half fixed firm to the bottom of half fixed firm. Inhale, expanding chest. Exhale, option to drop to the palms or the forearms. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drop it down. Back and forth. So this is a great way to work into the posture, especially if you have a tight quad, tight hips. As you start to feel more relaxed in the body and breathing into the shape, you can start to drop down a little bit lower. If you want to exaggerate the movement because it feels awesome, you can even puff the chest out a little bit more at the top, making a wheel type situation. And on the last one, she's going to come up to an inhale position. Finer points on the prep, getting into fixed, half fixed firm, or if you're going into full fixed firm. Notice that both of her hips are square on the mat. That's really important. The shoulders relaxed down the back. She's looking straight ahead. The foot is flexed. This is great. If you can keep your hips firmly connected to the floor, on your exhale, you're going to lay flat, coming onto forearms, or you can lay completely flat. You could also grab opposite elbow. There'll be a slight arch underneath your lower back. You're resting on the shoulders. The hips are still square. The knee still on the mat. Breathing through this. We're going to work through the range of motion. The energy coming back into the top of the mat. You're going to roll through. Inhale, coming back. Elbows, forearms. Rolling the body forward, the torso forward, coming into low lunge. The knee is stacked over the ankle, the back heel is lifted, the spine is nice and long. Big inhale. On your exhale, coming into a long pyramid. The front leg will straighten. The back heel doesn't have to touch. If it does, fantastic. If it doesn't, no worries, mate. Inhale, back to low lunge. Exhale, long pyramid. Call it long pyramid because it's longer than your traditional pyramid. She's breathing in and out of the movement. Again, about 45 seconds or 4 to 6 deep breaths. She's going back and forth. Notice that when she comes into the long pyramid, she's looking towards the back leg. About 15 seconds remaining, breathing deep into the belly. The knee stacked over the ankle on the low lunge. The back leg is extended. It can be parallel or 45 degree. On your last inhale, coming into the runner's lunge, which is very similar to a dragon's lunge. Shoulders are relaxed. Big thing on the pelvis, right? You don't want to dump into the pelvis where everything drops down. Everything is elevated and lengthening. Exhale, coming into long pyramid. Finer points on this one is that even though she is fully lengthening the body, the spine is still lengthening. So you have the sensation of the spine lengthening. The hamstrings are stretching. She's got both palms firmly planted. She can even fingertip the floor. Inhale, coming back into a transitional movement, the runner's lunge, planting the left palm, dropping the back knee, reaching the right arm forward and up, and then back. Exhale, plant the left palm. Inhale, reach. Right arm forward and back. Left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, plant the palm. Inhale, reach. She's going to move through the posture. You have roughly about 30 seconds. Continue breathing through this movement. Here's the important part. When she plants her hand, she's really going to reach to make length and up, drawing a big circle of energy, reaching up towards the sky. If your back hand doesn't touch the thigh, no worries. You can just reach in opposite directions. Her hips are gently coming forward. The knee goes towards the middle part of the foot, slightly towards the toe. The left hip is gently pushing forward. Her movement matches her breath. On the inhale, she's expanding. On the exhale, she's planting the palm. This one is amazing. It's one of my favorite. You can do this in Exalted as well, which we'll do in another flow. On the last one, she's going to inhale, coming up into Exalted Warrior. Some finer points on Exalted Warrior. Very similar to another popular yoga pose, Dancer's Pose. In fact, if you visualize it, two shoulders are almost in one line. Her chin is towards the shoulder. Her hips are forward. The back hand is touching the thigh. She's expanding and lengthening through the body in all directions. Four corners of the feet planted, taking a big inhale. Exhale, plant your left palm. Look forward, drag the back knee to the left heel, coming into the prep for a seated twist. Left arm is going to reach high to the sky. We're going to be moving in and out of seated twist. Exhale, twist. I'll talk you through finer points. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Moving along, breathing into the body. As you move, you want to feel that both your hips are flat on the mat. The shoulders are relaxed. The chin is level. The sequence of rotation starts with the rib cage, followed by the chest, followed by the shoulders, and finally the neck. So think of working from the bottom up like a spiral. Both hips firmly planted, very little weight in the back hand. In fact, she could lift up the palm if she wanted to. It'll help you stay a little more vertical. Last one, inhale, exhale, take a twist. Shoulders are relaxed. The rotation starting from the ribs, working your way through the shoulders, the chest, the neck. Both shoulders are relaxed. Very little weight in the back hand. Both hips planted. Inhale, exhale as you release. Swing the right leg behind you, coming into a preparatory pigeon pose. We're going to start with upright pigeon. Back leg is long, front knee at about a 45-degree angle, or the letter 7. Take a big inhale. Upright pigeon. Exhale, just start to drop the torso. Drop the palms. Inhale, back to upright pigeon. Exhale. Inhale. Notice she went wide with the grip because we are moving in and out of this. Feeling the breath expand the body. Start to visualize something that kind of expands as you put air into it. So a balloon, an accordion is an expansion of the body, and then send all that information into the center of the body, inhaling back and forth, feeling this pose really light up so that when you go into it and hold it, it's going to make a lot more sense. On your last inhale, really sit up nice and tall in upright pigeon. The shoulders are relaxed. The spine, even though it's in extension, it still has a feeling of lengthening. Exhale, drop it all the way down. On your pigeon, same thing. We can always trick ourselves into feeling inactive during what would be considered a passive posture. But if you bring an awareness to the spine and just feel that it's lengthening, even though you're laying completely flat, or that you're practicing the art of restoration, can you soften your belly, relax your neck, let your hips drop down, kind of like a pool or water spilling onto the floor. On your next inhale, coming into tiger curl. Tuck back toes, plant the palms, lift up. Back into pigeon, upright pigeon. Exhale, tiger curl. You can stay on the ball of the foot, working through this transition. Coming into tiger curl, you really want to scoop the belly around the spine. lock down the shoulders a little bit more actively than you would, or think of it as an aggressive Tadasana. She's bringing the knee towards the center of the chest, scooping the belly, the back heel is still lifted, still high, planting the palms firmly into the mat, really working the exhale breath here, getting a little bit more powerful with it, as if you were going to crush a soda can. Everything kind of draws in. She's sending the weight evenly between both hands, using her back for support, not just the chest, not just the core, but her lats are lit up. On the last one, hold your tiger curl. The back of the tailbone and the top of the neck are coming into alignment, so it is slightly of a curl, a coccyx curl. Coming into low flying scorpion, we're going to move through it. Inhale, low flying scorpion. Exhale, square off. Inhale, low flying scorpion. Exhale, square off. Knees are connected, rolling to the outside edge of the back foot. The hip and the torso is going to stay relatively square, but the hip is going to rotate. And if you notice, though, the weight is going to transfer to the right palm, allowing the left hand to feel a little bit lighter, makes the movement better. Going from the ball of the foot to the outside edge of the foot. And on the last one, squaring off, coming into plank position. Feet can be hip width apart. Take a big inhale, exhale, lower down halfway. Option to drop the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal your knees out here if you wish. Finishing in downward dog. A few more deepening cues for downward dog. Pressing into the thumb and index finger. Imagine there's a quarter underneath your palm. The biceps are rotating outward, but the forearms are staying parallel. Toes slightly pigeon-toed. Thighs spiraling. Think of the tailbone lengthening towards the upright part of the ceiling. Relax. Breathing here. From downward facing dog, we're going into the other side. You know these postures on one side of the body, so the information is over there. Inhale, coming into scorpion. Bending knee, open hip. Exhale, step, dragon lunge. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge. The range of motion, she's coming from a low position to a high position. The shift in the momentum is going to start with the pelvis, sending everything forward. Shoulders will stack over wrist. Transferring the weight to the leg, the foot, and the hand, so that way it kind of alleviates the pressure of the shoulders. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, coming into dragon lunge. The dragon lunge is a big, giant step. The left foot's coming outside the left pinky. On the scorpion, you know you're looking for that maximum extension. There's a moment of contraction as the pelvis goes forward, the knee draws in, finally taking that step into the low dragon lunge. On the last one, coming into scorpion, opening up the hip, feeling the extension from the knee, hip to the hand, breathing. Exhale, dragon lunge. Final points of the dragon lunge. The back heel is lifted, front knee is stacked, palms planted, spine is long, keeping it simple. From dragon lunge, inhale, side angle, rolling to the inside edge of the foot, arm extends up to the sky, back into dragon lunge, going through that into low lunge twist. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, low lunge twist. Some key points as you move through this. You're going from the inside edge to the ball of the foot. Really feel that transition. A lot of times that can be the make or break point for the posture because it provides that foundation for everything else. So if you really know where your feet are and you can feel that because you don't have shoes on, one, it feels amazing. Two, it's going to make your balance a lot better. On the last one, finishing in side angle. Spine is long, breathe into the belly, the shoulders are relaxed, the back leg is engaged, the glute can lift because you're engaging everything towards the body, spreading the mat apart with your feet. Exhale, dropping the palm, coming into low lunge twist. Shoulders stacked. We're going to give a little variation on this. This is going to be in the flow. Inhale, coming into low lunge twist extended, so it has that feeling of rotation in the torso, looking up towards the ceiling. We're big on spirals. Exhale, coming into a dragon lunge transition. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Shiva hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Shiva hands. Beautiful. So notice that the movement shifts back and forth from the heel of the foot, from the knee going to the middle of the foot, back to the heel. The back leg stays stable and engaged, 45-degree. Shoulder stays square. She's looking forward and then towards the ceiling. So shoulders square, and then she opens up the chest, looking at the sun. On the last one, hold warrior one. You know what to do, not your first time. So hips and shoulders are square. Warrior number uno, feeling the shoulders relax down the back. The spine is lengthening. This one is a little bit of visualization, but imagine lengthening through the hips. Exhale, coming into sun gaze, balancing on the lead heel. Hands are flexed, foot is flexed. Inhale, arrowhead, warrior one legs. Exhale, seated skandasana. Work this transition. Inhale, back into arrowhead. You can use your hands, reaching. Exhale, drop it down. Back and forth. Using the palms, this one isn't rushed. We want you to feel the transition from coming from an upright warrior one position to gliding the hips all the way down. She's reaching for something and then she's pulling it in to the floor. Coming to a low skandasana position. Inhale, reach, shoulders down the back. Exhale, low skandasana. Last one. Inhale, reach. Arrowhead for 2 breaths. Shoulders relaxed. Spine is a 45-degree. The legs are stable. Breathing into the body. Exhale, let the hips drop, glide, sit it down into a seated skandasana. The back knee and the back foot are going to be 90 degrees. The left leg is straight. We're going to pry open the hip because it feels great, and it's going to make fixed firm a lot easier. Inhale, open up the leg, open up the chest. Exhale, let it fold, closed for business. Inhale, open up hip. Exhale, close it up. This one's great if you sit a lot, or if you travel a lot, if you drive a lot. It hits all the good points in the hip, from external to internal. On the last one, exhale, coming into the prep for half fixed firm. You're on the top of the shin, the hips are square, foot is flexed, spine is tall. Inhale, exhale, you can drop it back. And we're working in and out of this low to midly high posture. How's it feel, Rach? Good. Yeah. Going back and forth. Use your breath as a conduit to get in and out of the movement. So this should feel, especially when we flow it on the half breath, like a dance. Like you're going from movement to movement, and the breath is your partner. And you're connecting that. That's what separates a yoga flow from just a workout, is that you really are connecting to the breath. On the last one, coming into half fixed firm. Hey, check it out. Well, looky here. You can stay on the forearms. You can also drop it down a little bit lower. It really depends on how you're feeling this day, because every day is a little bit different. But there is a sense of relaxation happening here, even though you might feel it in the quad. The knee has to stay connected to the floor. The calf, ideally as well. The shoulders on the mat. Working through this transition. Inhale, she's in plantar palms, elbows, forearms, sending her head forward, torso forward, coming into a low lunge. Back leg is going to be active. Inhale. Exhale, long pyramid. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, long pyramid. One of my favorite postures as well. You know, you're coming into that sacred geometry with the pyramid pose. Rolling through the body, even though it's mini, there is a roll happening from the long pyramid. The back foot, back heel doesn't have the touch. If it does, fantastic. If it doesn't, no worries. You can go to the fingertips that get a little more elevation. Knee going towards the middle of the foot. On the exhale, gaze softening, hamstrings lengthening. On the last one, we're going to finish in this runner's lunge for a moment. Spine is long, back heels lifted. Exhale, coming into pyramid. Long pyramid, so this is more distance than your traditional short pyramid, which was 3 or 4 feet. This is longer legs, which I love because, do you love it too? Yeah, because it feels like you have a little bit more room. Breathing into the movement here, coming into exalted warrior. Inhale, drop back knee. Reaching, lengthening, left arm up and back. Exhale, plant your palm. Inhale. So when you're working through this movement, especially during this preparatory pose, really make sure that these little transitions, you're filling in the gaps so that your body and your nervous system are going to understand the position or the movement from one asana to the next. On the last one, finishing in exalted warrior. Beautiful posture. The arm is lengthening up, the 2 shoulders are aligned, the torso is slightly rotated, the hips are gently pressing forward, the knee towards the middle of the foot. How's this one feel? Breathing into it. If your hand doesn't touch the back of the thigh, it's all good. Big inhale, exhale, plant palm. Plant hand, sneak back leg in so that you're coming into a seated position. Both hips on the floor. Inhale, right arm high to the sky. Exhale, twist. Going in and out of it at your own pace. On your inhales and exhales, you can think of filling up a Ziploc bag, like a sandwich bag, the ones that zip up. On the inhale, you're drawing it across and then filling up the bag from the bottom to the top like a glass of kombucha. You got about 10 seconds to go. Breathing through this. Inhale, exhale, twist. One more. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take the twist. Working from the top to the bottom this time, so chin in line with shoulder, shoulders relaxed, torso is rotating, so the rib cage is open, very little weight in the back hand. She has a little bit of a grasp on her left thigh to help her twist a little bit more, but do that with feeling and connection. Both hips firmly planted on the floor, not one hip up or down. Inhale, exhale, release, swing the left leg behind you, coming into upright pigeon. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop. This time, you can keep your elbows wide, working your fingertips as balance points, coming in and out of it. You can also give it a little bit of flavor, so she could, or you could, add a little bit of a wave to it. Right? So there is that sequence of events happening from the tailbone, and this is amazing for your spine. This is where you're going to send all that information, that wave of information to the brain, and reset everything. Aches and pains will start to disappear. A lot of great things happen when you can connect to the spine and wave it. On the last one, she's going to drop it down. Forearms is good to start. If that feels good, you could always go a little bit lower, planting the forehead to the mat. Let's work from the bottom this time. So the back leg is straight. The hip is pointing down. If you had a light on it, it would be pointing towards the mat. Spine is long. Shoulders are relaxed. So there's that feeling of inter-abdominal pressure, but not contraction. Everything is just connecting together. Spine is long. You just send a bunch of information to your brain. Inhale, plant your palms. Tuck back toes. Exhale, tiger curl. Knee goes straight to chest. Working from pigeon into tiger. Inhale to exhale. I like what Rachel just did. On the tiger curl, she gripped the floor with her hands. It's going to help you light up your muscles in your back and your center, enabling you to draw the knee to the chest, which you're going to need for other postures like crow. Arm balances, hand balances. So start to learn the art of contraction. So here's where you can really contract, draw everything in from the center. Imagine the knee and the chest. There's a string, you're drawing it straight up. She's even activating the back leg. This is very animalistic at this point. On the last one, you're going to exhale and hold. The pelvis is lifted, the dome of the back, you can see it, almost like a gymnast. The shoulders are rounded, she's gripping the floor, coming into a low flying scorpion. Inhale, just like so, coming in and out of it. The knees are connected on this one. Exhale, squaring off. Inhale, opening. Foot is pointed. She's going from the outside edge of the foot, which feels awesome, to the ball of the foot, balancing on the big toe and the second toe, and then balancing on the entirety of the edge of the foot. Let that sensation wash over you so that when you go to the side plank type position, you feel nice and stable and strong from all directions. She's transferring weight slightly to the left hand where Mr. Ganesh is living. And on the last one, you're going to square off, plant foot, lean forward. Inhale, exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a little knee. At home and here. Okay. We are going to flow this on the half breath. We're going to go through this 2 times. On the first time, if you feel like you miss a beat, it's all good. Because on the second time, it's going to feel even better. On the third time, we're going to do an add-on. We're going to do 1 breath, 1 movement. For the most part, on the expansion of the body, that will be the inhale. And on the contraction, that will be the exhale. There will be 1 little variation on the low lunge twist that you're going to have to pay attention to, but it won't be too fast. Are you ready, Rachel? Thumbs up. Those are yoga thumbs. Coming into tabletop position. Inhale, exhale, tuck back toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg out of the sky, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge, right foot step. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, low lunge twist. Here's the change. Inhale, extended low lunge twist, rotating chest. Inhale. Woo! Exhale, coming in through. Back to dragon lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, sun gaze, opening up chest. Inhale, roll through arrowhead. We're gliding down now. Exhale, coming into seated skandasana. Inhale, prepping the body, opening up the thigh. Exhale, dropping it down. Inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, let it wash over you. Using momentum here. Longer inhale. Inhale, transitioning through, kneeling into low lunge. Exhale, coming into long pyramid. Body knows this. Inhale, dropping back, knee, exalted warrior, coming in through, left, all the way up, breathing. Exhale, planting the left palm, sliding the knee to the heel. Inhale, reach, left arm up. Exhale, take a twist. Inhale, unraveling, coming into upright pigeon. Exhale, low pigeon. Breathing. Inhale, back to upright pigeon, prepping the body, getting on the ball of the foot. Exhale, tiger quill. Inhale, low scorpion. Exhale, square off. Inhale, plant the back leg. Exhale, vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, scorpion. Left knee bends. Exhale, dragon lunge. Back heel lifted. Inhale, extended side angle, reaching up. 2 shoulders, 1 line. Ooh. Exhale, coming into low lunge twist. Check the variation. Inhale, coming through that extended low lunge twist. Exhale, dragon lunge. Got it this time, Rich. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, sun gaze, roll through it. Inhale, arrow. Exhale, seated Skandasana. Inhale, open up the hip. Exhale, fold it, getting ready for fixed firm. Inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, deflate, let gravity do its thing. Using momentum, torso, hips. Inhale, coming through. Low lunge, dragon's lunge, runner's lunge. Exhale, pyramid, long. One movement. Inhale, exalted warrior. Left arm, right arm reaches up high to the sky. Exhale, one movement. Plant, slide, drop. Inhale, reach, expand. Exhale, twist. Your body knows these little movements between the movements. Inhale, upright pigeon. Swing, chest. Exhale, deflate, drop it low to the floor, option to reach high. Your prep's coming up. Inhale, plant palms, ball of foot. Exhale, tighten up, squeeze. Inhale, low scorpion, outside edge of back foot. Exhale, inhale, back to center. Exhale, plant the palm, plant the feet, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a knee. Okay, we are going to do it one more time at Rachel's request. A little bit quicker. That doesn't mean frantic, that means that you're going to connect with your breath. The distance between your connection to the breath instead of being here is going to be here. You're just going to bounce off it and embody your breath a little bit more dance-like. Here we go. Tabletop position. Exhale, tuck back toes. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, low lunge twist. Inhale, extended. Exhale, dragon. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Shiva hands. Inhale, arrow. Exhale, seated. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prep. Exhale, drop. Inhale, roll. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, plant, slide, seated. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, one movement, upright pigeon, swing, chest. Exhale, drop. Inhale, plant. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale, low scorpion. Exhale, square it off, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, low lunge twist, moving through it. Inhale, extended low lunge twist. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, sun gaze. Inhale, roll, arrow. Exhale, seated Skandasana. Inhale, pry. Exhale, fold. Inhale, expand. Exhale, roll down. Using momentum, using energy. Inhale, one movement. Low lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, exalted, reach, circle, up. Exhale, plant, sneak, slide, seated twist. Inhale, reach, expand. Exhale, take a twist. Release. Inhale, upright pigeon. I got into the moment. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, ball of the foot. I was feeling it. Exhale, coming into tiger curl. Inhale, low flying dragon. Exhale, square it off. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back downward dog. And drop both knees. Coming into child's pose. Taking a moment here. Now this time, I want you to listen because we are going to do half breath, but we are also going to add on. So, Pay close attention. You can flow and listen to it, either with headphones or you can watch and listen. And the moment we pause and add on, you will know, and we'll go further into a posture. Child's pose position. I'm just going to give you what we're going to do. We are going to work through bird of paradise, half fixed firm, we're going to do an add-on, and mermaid or merman. Flowing through it, I'll cue you ahead of time so you know where to decelerate and pause for the cause. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, bend knee, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge. Listen for the change. Inhale, extended side angle. Breathe here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, you're going to wrap the hand behind the back, binding the bottom arm. So you're going to drop your right shoulder, clasping the hands. This is fantastic. You can stay here or look down. Back foot meets top foot. Send the weight to the left leg. Make sure that the knee rises first, followed by the torso, finding balance in one leg. Inhale, you can expand into bird of paradise, extending the leg out. The focus and the gaze stay sharp, just 2 breaths. Toe fully extended, foot planted. You are a mountain, and there's a bird on it. Exhale, draw the knee in, plant the foot, step back. Inhale, coming back to extended side angle, going back to the half breath. Exhale, plant, low lunge twist. Inhale, extended low lunge twist. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, sun gaze. Inhale, arrowhead. Listen for the change. Exhale, seated skandasana. Inhale, pry. Exhale, drop. Adding on. Inhale, expand the chest up. Decelerate the breath, the body, lower all the way down. Breathe here. This is fantastic. You can also reach back with the arms and capture elbow. Or, if you want to go a little bit further, if you're feeling a little more release in the quad, you can bend the right foot, plant the right foot on the floor. Option to grab the knee with the left hand, hugging the knee towards the chest, clasping 2 inches below the knee. Hips are still square, and there's a freedom happening in the left hip, left quad. Compressing the other side of the body. One more inhale. Option to squeeze on the exhale using the biceps, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, release the leg. Breathe, rolling through. Inhale, coming in through. Runner's lunge, low lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, exalted warrior, reaching up, reaching back. Exhale, plant it, listen for the change. Dropping the seat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Again, ribs first, chest, shoulders. Inhale, upright pigeon. Swinging the right leg back. Here's the change. Make sure that the lead leg is at the number 7. You're breathing and decelerating the body. If this feels good to you, you're going to look back. Make sure your leg is long, reaching back. The torso will rotate. Bend the right knee. Capture the top of the foot. Thumb is up. Fingers wrapped on the outside edge of the foot. Left palm is planted. This is perfect. You can also do this with a little more distance between your foot and your glute. Otherwise, you're pressing down. Option to go a little bit further. You're going to hook your foot into your elbow, balancing on the shin and the hip, reaching left arm up and back, very similar to the movement of Exalted Warrior, clasping the hands. I'm helping Rachel stay balanced. Breathing into the shape, expanding through the chest, flexing through the spine. The hips are open, the shoulders are open. On your next exhale, release, drop it down. Coming into upright pigeon. Inhale, back into the half breath. Exhale, lower flat. I'll give you a pause. Inhale, coming into the ball of the foot. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale, low flying scorpion outside edge of the foot. Exhale, take vinyasa. She was about to do an ekapada variation. I could feel it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time through, here we go. Left leg high to the sky, scorpion. Exhale, dragon lunge. You know what's coming up. Inhale, side angle. Breathe here. Take a big inhale as you exhale. Wrap the right hand behind the back. You can stay right here. It's a beautiful variation. Otherwise, you're going to bind. So drop the left shoulder a little bit lower than the left knee. Clasping the hands. Spine is open, hands are clasped. This feels comfortable to you. Look down. Right foot, step towards left foot, top of the mat. Transfer the weight to the right foot, right leg. Start with the knee. It rises first, followed by the chest, the torso. We're not expanding yet. We find the balance, we root, and then we expand on the inhale. Bird of paradise. Chin level, spine tall. On your next exhale, descend the same way you came into it. Keep the clasp, drop low, keep chest low, step legs straight back. Release, coming back into the half breath. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, lower lunge twist, flowing through it. Inhale, extended low lunge twist. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, warrior one, rising up. Exhale, sun gaze. Inhale, roll, arrowhead. Exhale, seated skandasana, dropping all the way to the floor. We're going to open up the hip, coming into an inhale. Exhale, fold it. Listen for the change. Slowly roll. Inhale, expand. Exhale, drop it down. This is a good time. If you do have a tight quad, you can just hang out here with me and Rach for about 3 to 4 breaths. If you're a little more open and you're ready to take it to the next level, bend the knee, capture 2 inches below the knee, helping Rachel balance. And notice, she's taking a variation on this side, the hips a little bit tighter, so she's grabbing one hand, which is amazing. It actually looks like that feels good as well, something I would do, one-handed. Relaxing the shoulders, the spine will naturally open up. There'll be the curves of the spine happening, so your spine's in neutral. Releasing your foot, using energy yet again. Inhale, send everything forward, coming into a runner's lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, exalted warrior, windmill, circle. Reaching up with the right palm, right fingertips. Exhale, plant it. Drag it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take a twist. Think of a spiral, bringing up the spine, sending all the information to the top of the head. And release. Inhale, upright pigeon. Listen for the change. Setting yourself up, back of the leg is long. Balanced on the shin. On the upright pigeon, and coming into mermaid, merman, the shin is actually more than a 7. So 7's right here is actually almost, I would say, it's like a 9 reach. So that the heel is close to the body. Look back, reach back, bend the knee, capture the foot. Thumb is up, shoulders are relaxed. The torso will rotate in alignment with the hips, right? So you're not like totally square. It's going in line with the hips. Option to reach forward after you hook the elbow and the foot. So the elbow's hooked on the outside of the foot, finding balance. Notice the shoulders are in one line, very similar to dancer's pose or exalted warrior. The pelvis and the torso are at the same angle. Take a big inhale, breathing into the shape. Shoulders, hips, knees. Exhale, slowly release. Coming back to the half breath. Inhale, upright pigeon. Exhale, drop it to the floor. Getting ready for tiger. Inhale, ball of the foot. Exhale, tiger. Inhale, low, scorpion. Coming back to, I knew it, ekapada came out. Ekapada just means you're lifting up one leg as you come into your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Exhale, take a knee. Coming to the end of our yoga journey, our connection with the breath, body, and mind. Cooling it down. Walk the hands back towards the thighs. Drop to either side of the hip, laying completely flat on the back. First variation can be both postures for both times we go through this. Otherwise, we're going to build upon our first asana in our cool down. Heels close to the glutes, arms by the sides. Heels so close that your fingers can touch the back of the heels. We're going to be coming into the bridge. Inhale, press the hips up. Shoulders down the back, chest is up. On your bridge, notice that we want you to create a wheel, keeping it wheel effect in the chest. So don't let it collapse, open it up. You can press actively into the floor. You're on the flat part of the shoulder blades, interlocking the fingers, looking straight up at the ceiling, very little weight on the neck. Inhale, as you exhale, lower down. If you want to do that twice because it was so nice, then do that. Otherwise, take a moment, let your feet come wide, knees knock in. We're going to set up for wheel. The feet are the same. Feet will come close to the heels. Hands will go by the head, elbows in and down towards the hips. So you're going to have the sensation of the elbows coming in and then down towards the hips, pressing evenly to the feet. The hands using the breath. Inhale, expand the chest. Sending the hips up. Chest towards the back of the wall. Hips towards ceiling. Pressing evenly into the feet. Knees don't knock in too much. Keep them as parallel as you can visualize. Planting the palms. No cranking of the back. Everything is expanded and opening up. Take a big inhale here. If you're in bridge, you're still with us. Exhale, wheels. Chin, chest, shoulders, hips, hands, feet, knees, in, breathe. Feeling good. Maybe closing the eyes as we transition to the next asana. You're going to stay laying flat. Lengthen both legs out in front of you. Bend the right knee towards the chest. Extend the right leg up, capturing the toe. Left hand can go to the hip. If you don't have a toe, it's all good. But if you can't capture the toe, you can always use a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can grab a towel. If you don't have a towel, you can grab a rope. There's things that you can grab to kind of help you with the leverage. Hips are down. Inhale, expanding. You already have the toe. As you exhale, bend the knee, coming into happy baby. The knee will track outside the bicep as if you're doing a squat, gently encouraging the knee and the hip to open up. Left hip stays flat. Spine is long. Breathing into the posture, breathing into the shape. Awesome. Bending the knee. Left hand to the knee, right arm extends out. Take a little supine twist. If you have the mobility option to look to the opposite shoulder. This is very subtle. Take a big inhale and see if you can send the breath all the way to the low spine. Letting those little muscles release. On every inhale, you expand in all directions. North, south, east, west. And on the exhale, you spill further into the floor, back of the neck long. Everything is twisted out. On your next inhale, come back to center. Extend right leg, bend left knee. Bring it towards the chest. Grab the big toe or the calf. You can always bend the knee as well. So if it's too tight, you can bend the knee a little bit, encouraging the leg to come closer. Otherwise, big inhale, expand through the body. On your exhale, the hamstrings and the back, the muscles, they naturally lengthen. So visualize and embody that. Inhale, you're expanding. On the exhale, the muscles in the back and the hamstrings are getting like Laffy Taffy, expanding in all four directions. Taking a big inhale, filling up. On your exhale, bend knee, coming into half happy baby. Notice Rachel's keeping a hand on the hip so that she can feel that her hip is connected to the floor and it's not popping off or twisting or deviating in any way. You want to keep the natural alignments of the posture and not break any of the connections between the body parts or different areas. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, take a twist, right hand outside the knee, left hand lays flat. Nice, long, lengthy twist. The back of the thigh is long. On every inhale, expand. On the exhale, you have to let something go to go further. So this isn't something where you add on. You actually have to release something. Sometimes that can be something psychological. It can be something physical. It can be something that no longer serves you. Just give it gratitude and send it on its way. Take a big inhale. Exhale, coming back. And inhale. Hug both knees to the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. You're going to lay out into Shavasana. I'm going to talk you through this. This Shavasana can be used as well by itself. And maybe you're like, I just want this part of the class. You can do this in the middle of the day, lay completely flat on the ground. It's great for your spine. We're going to work our way from the bottom all the way to the top. Breathing into the body parts as if they were a temple. Maybe we'll visit a concept. Taking a big inhale. Send the exhale into the soles of the feet. Spiraling the breath through the calves. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, send the breath into the quads, the hamstrings. Let the breath spiral into the hips. Relax the glutes. The lower body gets heavy, heavy, heavy. One other inhale into the body. As you exhale, the breath goes into the low back, the forearms, mid-back. Rib cage naturally opens up. Big inhale. Send the exhale into the backs of the arms, the shoulders, the upper back, the neck. Everything starts to drop down. Muscles are like jelly, bones are heavy, breath light. Working our way from the bottom of the temple to the top of the temple. Take a big inhale. Exhale, send the breath to the back of the neck, the jaw, the eyes, the ears. Maybe thanking your body for doing what it just did. The legs for carrying you, heart for beating, lungs breathing. One more inhale. Send the exhale to the very top part of the head, the crown chakra. Letting the thoughts just spill onto the floor. The muscles are jelly, the bones are heavy. The breath is going to wash over you like a wave. Temple is completely clean. The sunlight is coming in. And as you go through your practice, maybe a question to ask yourself on the mat as well as off the mat is, are you solely who you are? And that's that. Meaning, are you rigid? When something happens and you react, are you saying, this is who I am and that's just how I am? Or can you start to identify with the part of yourself that changes when change is necessary? So you are maybe not just who you are. Maybe you are the thing behind who you are that can change. And that's your driving essence and your driving force. And that is something that you start identifying with. So that if any obstacles come your way, you can meet the obstacle, become the obstacle, and then overcome the obstacle. Because you do not get stuck. You change, you flow, and you identify with that. Feeling the moment, feeling your intuition, connecting with the layer behind the layer behind the layer. Start to wiggle fingers and toes. And kind of like you're going to crash at a friend's place and they got a little couch. You draw your knees towards your chest, roll to the right side of the body, drawing the knees in, making a pillow with the bicep. Tiny couch, no pillow, but you're comfortable. You're happy, you have a place to rest. Pressing the palm into the earth, coming into a seated position. Thank you, Rachel, for demoing, and thank you for joining us. We're going to just finish off with one breath. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we'll keep it simple. I'm going to look for the best in you, and please do that for me. And that's how it goes. Thank you so much. Namaste.